Reading I Ching. Stand still. Composition of hexagram. In this hexagram, the sky is on the upper side, and the earth is on the lower side, just as they are meant to be. It has the exact opposite shape of the composition of the previous hexagram. While the hexagram of peace symbolized a dynamically maintained peace, this hexagram of stand still represents a more static kind of peace. It is good to move toward a new change, but it is also necessary to maintain its own essential form stable and calm. Of course, such stability and calmness may feel too awkward and dull to some people, but it is important to be able to concentrate on oneself without losing focus, and to keep composure while making a progress on a greater scale. Of course, it will be a problem if one becomes too stubborn, and does not even listen to what other people say. Stand still represents both sides of being stable and stubborn. When you encounter this hexagram, it may be wiser to consider both possibilities. On one hand, you may be losing your identity in pursuit of an ideal goal. Conversely, you may be caught up in your own arbitrary judgment, and have your ears closed to the voices of those around you. Overall meaning. The overall shape of stand still is exactly opposite to that of peace. As is often the case with an odd-numbered hexagram and its successor, this hexagram is an upside-down image of the previous one. At the same time, you can get this hexagram by switching yin and yang of every line from the previous hexagram as well. Just as their symbolic relation implies, the two adjacent hexagrams have opposite meanings in many ways. While peace represented a dynamic balance and harmony that constantly moves, stand still symbolizes a static fixation and stagnation. More often than not, the explanation of stand still in general is described with a lot of negative vocabulary. You may imagine a stubborn person who would not communicate with others. Maybe because the basic principle of I Ching, or the Book of Change, is based on constant transformation. Having everything stably in its place is often treated as somewhat undesirable. The fact that all the elements are staying in a stable state can be conversely interpreted that they cannot evolve into a better state anymore. In this regard, it seems that the most ideal state that I Ching prefers may be stillness, which encompasses movement, or someone who looks gentle on the outside but is tough inside. The real perfection in I Ching does not mean that everything is in the right place, without needing a touch of change. It is achieved when everything keeps on flowing steadily and constantly, while moving up higher in a larger scale. However, if you consider this hexagram as a snapshot of the current status, instead of an ultimate goal, it can also be interpreted quite agreeably. Sometimes the sky should behave as a sky, and the earth should behave as an earth. It might be problematic if you were trapped in your own frame of fixed idea, and stopped trying to understand the various aspects of the world. However, if you stand still on where you are supposed to be, consider what you are supposed to do, and try to embrace others based on such understanding, it will be greatly helpful for you in planning and carrying out a greater vision.